This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, November 11th. I'm Tori, and I'm here with Erica and Al. And today is Veterans Day. And if you're a veteran out there watching, we want to say thank you for your service. We want to honor all of those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of our nation, our veterans, and of course, their families and friends. Now, earlier today, the president attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. Today's ceremony also included a centennial commemoration of the site. And for the first time in nearly 100 years, the public was allowed to lay flowers at the tomb this week. The tomb has been a final resting place for 3 unknown U.S. service members and has also served as a symbolic grave for unidentified and missing American soldiers. It's near my hometown. I've visited. It is incredibly beautiful and sacred and hallowed. And just so you know, there is always a senior member of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment holding guard. They are never alone since 1948, ever. Yeah. Happy Veterans Day. You guys have any veterans in your family?
I know, Erica, your dad, right? My dad was.
Yes, my father. I believe we have a photo.
Oh, Roosevelt.
That's, Roosevelt cop, Air Force Staff Sergeant.
Is there any other name that man can have but Roosevelt cop? Do his friends call him Rosie?
When he was in a bowling league, yes, they called him Rosie.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And now you went on USO tours?
I did a couple USO tours as a comic, and it was just great being over in Germany. That's at the bottom. That's me in Ramstein, Germany, Camp Bonsteels in Kosovo.
Wow.
Those are all 18-year-olds that had only been there for a couple weeks. So it's good to give them a little taste of home, and they gave you a pin at every base you went to, so it's a big deal.
Wow.
Life-changing tour.
Amazing. All right, we do have an update in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse. A lot of you wrote into the show who he is on trial for killing 2 people and injuring a 3rd during unrest last summer, if you remember, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, the judge overseeing the trial said he would rule later on a request for a mistrial from the defense attorneys. This comes after the 18-year-old took the stand yesterday and broke down sobbing. Now, a lot of folks had some very strong reactions, including the sole survivor who was shot by Rittenhouse in the arm. Here's what he told GMA earlier today.
I think anytime you see your would-be murderer on the stand, it's emotional. To me, it seemed like a child who had just gotten caught doing something that he wasn't supposed to. More upset that he was caught and less upset about what he had done and what he had taken and the numerous lives that he affected.
LeBron James also weighed in, tweeting, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." It seemed like crocodile tears to me. It seemed like a fully staged theatrical performance. They got a recess right afterwards. It just seemed very, very staged, and it seemed fake and phony to me. It might have worked for a juror or two. It didn't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday watching that, and I was like, I can't make sense out of nonsense.
Right.
Like, it is absolutely nonsensical. And, you know, I don't have children, but I nannied for several years. And when those types of, you know, that like working yourself up type thing, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very serious situation. I know that a lot of people were, you know, making fun of him yesterday, but the truth is that 2 people lost their lives and 1 is gravely injured, or, you know, very profoundly injured. And it's not a joking matter, but obviously this is being used as some type of performance tool.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the whole thing, Erica, strikes me as performative, and
theatrical.
and it seems like it's kind of been happening from the top down. This happened obviously when Trump was in office. He did not comment on it. Then Trump Jr. said, you know, at 17 we all do kind of silly things. When he finally turned himself in, he was bailed out for $2 million, crowdfunded. And when he came out, he was wearing a T-shirt that said "free as," and I cannot finish the rest of that. And again, the judge did not allow that picture to be shown. There's video of him 2 weeks before he ended up killing those people in front of a CVS saying, "I want to get my gun and kill all those people." The judge did not allow that video either. We're talking about performance. I think what we're seeing is the setting up for the exoneration of him, and I'm calling it now. I think he's going to be the new face of the alt-right.
I have to be honest with you, Al.
He already has been throwing up white supremacy signs at bars.
As a martyr, he completely is, and I completely agree with you. The judge also, and I'm trying to watch it as like an unbiased legal mind, seems incredibly one-sided for the defense. I mean, incredibly.
The prosecutor asked him why he had an AR-15 with him across state lines, and the judge said that they were not allowed to ask him that question.
It's been confounding many people as to why the judge has been continually giving better, reasonable access to the defense rather than the prosecution, and that's coming from a lot of people. Write us in what you think. I would love to hear from you on YouTube or our app. We also have a quick update on what Matthew McConaughey said yesterday about vaccinating his kids that got us all in a tussle.
I like that suit.
He looks great. He always does. All right. He clarified on Instagram that he's not against vaccinating children. Okay. He says his eldest son, 13-year-old Levi, is fully vaccinated.
I don't know what we're talking about with vaccinations, Eric. Are we talking about just COVID, or are we talking about mumps and rubella?
No, I mean, we're in this conversation. We're talking about the COVID vaccine. Right. I said yesterday, you know, he's clearly splitting the baby because it's. I mean, it really. I know that you cannot have this conversation in this climate without it automatically being either one thing or another. But I do believe that a lot of people are having this conversation the same way. He is fully vaccinated. His wife is fully vaccinated. Their eldest son is fully vaccinated. He has younger children. They're having a different conversation about that. As I said earlier, I'm not a parent. I don't feel like maybe throwing myself into this discussion of what you should be doing with your children is any more appropriate than people throwing themselves into the discussion on what I should be doing right now either.
Do you think it all, though, was a backtrack because of the temperature check he got? Some backlash and realized maybe this wasn't the best
But in the totality of the interview, he says all these things. Right. It's just that the hot topics were what the clips that were shown and people reacting to it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that this is, you know, shocking breaking news.
Interesting. I wonder what you guys think. If you think he's backtracking or not, let us know. Coming up on DBL, a Marine survives a traumatic brain injury while in combat. The path he carved to save his own life and others. You don't want to miss this special Veterans Day story.
What a guy.
Oh my gosh, right? And Luke Bryan makes a vaccine joke that falls terribly flat. We're chatting about the most memorable moments from last night's Country Music Awards. Oh boy.
Closed captioning provided by
You guys know what happened to the judge? Did you hear about this?
You're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse. The judge's phone started to ring in the middle of it, and the ringtone was "Proud to be American." It's the same ringtone that, not that this means anything, but it does mean everything, that Trump walks out to. And he was slightly embarrassed and put it down, and then he highly admonished the prosecutor in front of everyone. And some people are saying so much so that it prejudiced the jurors, and screamed at the prosecutor, "How could you do this? What were you thinking?"
He
blah, blah, blah.
screamed? I just read it.
And he was like, "Why would you think you could do this?" Now, the other side would say he did bring up that Kyle Rittenhouse remained silent before the court, and that's a constitutional right, and the judge was sort of doing that. But at one point, the prosecutor asked to pinch and zoom on some video, and the defense attorney said, "That alters the image with artificial imagery and algorithms." Now, that sentence doesn't even make sense. And the other guy said that there's no basis for you to say that. And the judge goes, "Well, I'm too old to know. So until we get a witness here to say that that is not an altered image for this Apple product or the iPad, then we can't play it." And he was like, "No one has any consensus or you were just on your iPhone. That doesn't change the pixels. It doesn't change the program." He goes, "Well, I don't know that. I can't be sure of that."
Yeah, I mean,
What?
My ears perked up when he said that you couldn't refer to them as victims. But I mean, it's just however you feel about this case. It's almost like when you watch a sporting event. I don't want to see
like the ref. Yeah.
And I feel like the ref is so much of the story so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be different if it was a bench trial.
Yep.
Then yeah, the ref would be front and center. I don't know. It just seems like the lack of awareness and evolution is being somehow like made okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
And he's
no,
giving all
it's,
the recesses to the defense, like all the little things that can add up, he's giving to the defense. So that's stuff.
Hey, Chris, can you tell me a favor?
Welcome back to DBL. Hey, y'all. The CMA Awards were back in full force last night. I've always wanted to go. Did you know? Okay. The show opened with host Luke Bryan taking a jab at Aaron Rodgers. Take a look.
We're following all the health protocols to keep everyone safe. And it is so great to be here with all my fellow artists, tested and together. Or immunized. Who is it? Just playing.
Okay, the cameras then went to Carrie Underwood, who gave us a little side eye right there. Her husband, former NHL star Mike Fisher, has defended Aaron's decision not to get vaccinated. Carrie lost out to Luke Combs for the big Entertainer of the Year award. Other notable moments, TJ Osborne kissed his boyfriend after winning Vocal Duo of the Year. He came out as gay earlier this year. Jimmy Allen got emotional after being named New Artist of the Year. He is only the second Black country artist to get the award. And Mickey Guyton performed her song, Love My Hair, with Brittany Spencer and Madeline Edwards. The song was inspired by Faith Fenedy, who was sent home because her braided hair violated her school's hair policy in Louisiana. Erica, the Crown Act,
Yeah, they talked about the Crown Act.
The Crown Act is.
Crown stands for creating a world that's openly, openly an open world. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
No discrimination against hair.
Respect
in the
for natural, for your natural hair.
That's right.
The Crown Act aims to make discrimination against your natural hair illegal for workplace, schools, and housing. It's still trying to be passed in many different states. I have to say, I was really kind of like just stuck on this performance because one of our viewers, Deb, sent this to me early this morning, and I was absolutely in tears. It made me so emotional.
Oh, wow.
I worked in country radio for a small period of time. This was when Mickey, there was this push to, I guess, to make some evolution in country music and country radio. Side note, she is not played in any country stations across the country. And I just thought this was such an incredibly pivotal moment. And I was really appreciative to our viewer, Deb, who sent that to me this morning.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
what'd you think?
I just think, the world is opening up and evolving, and I'm sure there's some old school country fans that's like, I don't want to see it on my screen, but that's how it's always been. The world keeps kind of rolling along, and there was a time where people were like, I don't want to see black men playing baseball, and
women
now we don't
having a credit card?
With all that stuff, all those people, they had their feelings, and we kept rolling along, and just seeing this award show just lets me know in 10 years this will not be a big deal. But it's good to see the first year.
It really is. As they rode off into the sunset.
There we go. And shout out to what was his name with that outfit, the pink, the
Jimmy
Allen.
What an outfit.
That's coming from Fashion Jackson. You can't wear that tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Veterans Day and Memorial Day both honor those who served our country, with one main difference. Memorial Day honors military members who have died, while Veterans Day recognizes the service and sacrifice of all America's veterans. Then there's the date. Memorial Day changes because it's observed on the last Monday in May. Veterans Day, on the other hand, is always November 11th. Here's why. Veterans Day originally came out of World War I. Although the war technically ended with the Treaty of Versailles, the fighting stopped months earlier. the Allied nations and Germany agreed to a truce that took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month back in 1918. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress made a formal declaration calling for a celebration of peace. 28 years later, Congress changed the name to Veterans Day, making sure it honored all American veterans, not just those who served in World War I. And that's connecting the dots. For 9 News Morning.
This November, don't miss a minute of DBL. I cannot wait.
You want to play it safe? Nah, girl. We want to know.
You don't feel like that's a little bit weird?
No. I got to agree with Tori here. Hey, stop. I don't want to hear it.
Here's how I feel. Okay, stop.
I know.
You mean like hooligans?
Is the hooligan problem under control? There's no such thing as ghosts.
We're off to a good start. DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back. This next story is a special one that we're happy to share on Veterans Day. Richard Casper is a celebrated U.S. Marine who suffered a traumatic brain injury during combat in Iraq. At his lowest point of recovery, he decided to change his path and fight a different fight, one for his fellow brothers dealing with the after effects of war. Here's his incredible story.
After 9/11, that's when I was a junior. I saw those towers fall, and I just said, you know what? I want to be the first person overseas.
Richard Casper joined the military at 17, ready to fight for his country.
I went to Fallujah, Iraq in 2006, 2007 with First Tanks. Within the first 4 months of me being in Iraq, my Humvee was blown up 4 separate times, which led to a left traumatic brain injury, and then my buddy was shot and killed beside me. They said I wasn't allowed to work anymore. I was unfit for duty. When I transitioned back home, I didn't know anything was wrong with me. I knew I had migraines for like months straight. I went to college for business at this community college. That's where I found all my injuries. I started going to school and I started failing all my classes. And so that's when I knew there was an issue and when I was going downhill fast. And that's when I got diagnosed with my left traumatic brain injury, my PTSD. And so that's when I was even more down in the dump. What I tell people is if 0 was killing myself and 100 was me before war, I was at a 9 at my lowest point, and then I discovered art and music.
But Richard found a creative way to fight through the depression.
So I used to doodle all the time. I used to draw. How about I get an easy degree in art? And that's what ended up changing my life, that decision, because in the art classes is where I actually learned how to tell my story without telling my story. And I said, you know what? I want to create a nonprofit out of this because I think so many veterans are going to benefit from telling their story.
Taking matters into his own hands, he launched Creative Vets to offer support and relief to those who have sacrificed for our country. The program uses forms of arts to help veterans cope.
If we can get this music out to the people, to the veterans, we're going to save so many more veterans' lives just by them listening to our music, letting them know that they're not alone out there.
I'm so excited about our next guest. He is a Purple Heart recipient and one of Time Magazine's Next Generation Leaders. Please give a hero's welcome to DBL, Richard Casper.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. And definitely thank you for your service. We celebrate veterans and their service every day, but especially on Veterans Day. So what does this day mean to you?
In my world now, every day is Veterans Day. And so this is just another one of those days that we really get to highlight and that the world's actually listening to us.
Richard, we're thankful for you again.
Amen.
Thank you for your service. Could you tell us about the day in Iraq that changed your life?
Yeah, well, multiple days changed my life. The major one was where my buddy was shot and killed beside me on December 14th in 2006. But then on top of that, there was 4 other days where my Humvee was blown up. So I ended up with a left traumatic brain injury. But honestly, now that I look back on them, they're not blessings, but they are what started the process, which started my healing, which now heals a bunch of veterans through the process.
So, I'm going to ask you to take us there. You're struggling with school and you're struggling with your healing, but then you discovered art therapy. Like, how did that save your life?
So when I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, struggling not to be able to speak in front of people anymore, not be able to go to job interviews because my anxiety and depression were so bad, I thought maybe an art degree would be a cop-out. But art 100% changed my life.
So when was the moment that you decided to create Creative Vets?
So I graduate from the school there in Chicago. I'm almost fully back to normal. I wrote a song in Nashville that helped me express what I was going through that way. So I have a song, I have my art, and I'm ready to tackle the world. And then I look back and I say, wait, is any other Marine or combat vet gonna do what I just did? So then the next step, I started searching. Are there organizations that do this? There wasn't. There was nobody enrolling veterans into these art schools, bringing them to Nashville to write songs. And so I knew we had to do this.
I love it. Richard, tell us about this amazing collaboration with one of Nashville's biggest labels and country music stars.
Oh my gosh, this has been a dream come true since we started. I remember my first board meeting say, could you imagine that we release veteran-created music for veterans by veterans, in which people could listen to this music, royalties comes back to our organization to keep bringing veterans to do this, and the veteran who told their story gets money coming back to them to show that their story is important and it's worth something. So now by partnering with Big Machine Records and putting top-tier artists on our songs, when a veteran's sitting at their home just looking for someone to connect with and they find a random song and it sounds like Justin Moore and they look at the artist and they say, wait, this is Creative Vets featuring Justin Moore, and they search us, they find out that we'll pay for their flights, their food, their housing from anywhere in the country to us. We're legitimately reaching in the homes and pulling them out through these partnerships with Big Machine Records.
Oh my
You are a godsend, Richard. You truly are. Some people are just born to serve.
Right.
I mean, you were serving in the military, now you're serving and you're saving lives. It's an honor to meet you.
Yes.
And to our viewers out there, you can make a donation at creativevets.org. And the music is available across all major streaming platforms and digital retailers. We'll be right back.
Thanks so much.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Diabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 American adults are pre-diabetic, but the CDC says more than 84% of those people don't know they have it. A simple blood sugar test will tell you if you're pre-diabetic. The problem is, many people aren't getting tested for it. Dr. Griffin Rogers, director of the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases at the NIH, says undiagnosed and untreated prediabetes can develop into even worse health conditions.
If you have prediabetes, within the next 5 to 10 years, you have a 50% chance of developing frank diabetes.
If patients aren't getting tested for prediabetes, then is there another way for people to know if they're pre-diabetic? Let's verify. Our sources are the CDC, the American Diabetes Association, Dr. Michael Berry, Vice Chair of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, and Dr. Griffin Rogers. Our sources say the short answer is no. There's not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. But according to the CDC, some people are more at risk for prediabetes than others, including being 45 years or older, having a parent, brother, or sister with type 2 diabetes, and or being physically active less than 3 times a week. According to the American Diabetes Association, quote, there are no clear symptoms of prediabetes, so you may have it and not know it. But before people develop type 2 diabetes, they almost always have prediabetes, unquote.
The task force recommends that for adults aged 35 to 70 who have overweight or obesity, that they be screened for diabetes and prediabetes.
So we can verify, no, there is not a way to know if you're pre-diabetic without a test. So if you want to know, just ask for a test at your next appointment. With your Verify, I'm Adiande Till.
There is, it's a palpable sense of urgency this year among employers who are looking for seasonal workers.
This year, employers are trying hard to convince you to work for them. Want proof? Just look at jobsiteindeed.com. More than 10% of seasonal job postings there mention urgently hiring. Last year, those words only appeared on 1% of postings. Workers are still in short supply. Some are taking their time getting back into the workforce after either getting laid off during the pandemic or quitting. And frankly, It pays to be choosy. If you're looking for a side hustle this holiday, keep an eye out for how an employer is sweetening the pot. Amazon, for example, is offering a signing bonus of $3,000 in some locations, plus an extra $3 an hour for working certain shifts. The bottom line, do your research and don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The extra money you make will help. The holiday season will be more expensive because of product shortages, among other things. And that's connecting the dots.
You are not going to believe the incredible discounts Steph showed me earlier from our friends at Morning Save. Check it out. All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
First up, we've got Had a Neon stainless steel personal blender deal. So it includes one blender, 2 different blending cups, and 2 travel lids. And the blender features 3 adjustable speeds. So normally it's $53. We've got it, Tori, for only $25, saving our viewers 53%. Now, Tori, it's time to get your teeth clean with Fairy Will Electric Toothbrush Duo Set, where you will get 2 bases, 8 brush heads, 2 interdental heads, and 2 cases. So this set has a 2-minute smart timer that pauses every 30 seconds. It's got 5 high-performance brush modes that suit everyone's teeth and gums. So normally it's $100.
Okay, I mean, that's still good.
But we've got it, Tori, for only $49, which means our viewers save up to 51%. Now, this next product is absolutely genius. It is a 2-pack of Estelle rechargeable vanity lights.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 2 vanity lights with 2 USB cords and 2 suction cup holders. So normally it's as much as $46.
Okay, kind of pricey. A little
But
bit.
now it's $19.
Oh, that's great.
Saving 59%. Okay, and last, but certainly not least, we've got double dip fall or holiday nail dip starter kit.
Oh, I love dip.
I know, so you'll get 6 dip powders for your DIY nails, as well as applicators to make this a professional salon look. So great nails are as simple as coat, dip, file, and shine. Normally, these are as much as $90, but we've got it, Tori, for $35, saving 61%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Again, thank you so much, Steph. Delicious and yummy stuff.
What'd you like the best?
The toothbrush. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.